Welcome back. So in order to install our Twitter Bootstrap setup inside our Angular application, I want to kind of just go and grab an example here so we can see when it's actually done. So I'm going into documentation, going into components, I'm going to find a button right here, and I'm just going to pick one of these buttons. Let's pick this success button. That's beautiful. And I'm just going to grab all the class information here because this is how you make our ugly button look like a success button. So I'm going to put that inside so that we can actually change this button whenever we're done installing this new framework. And that's this button right here inside the customer details component or details component HTML file. And that's where I'm just adding this style here so that I can actually see when Bootstrap hopefully is installed later on. Let's just go back and see the code. Nothing has changed right now, so no magic there. But let's try and just go to bootstrap.com and try and download this new theme right here so we can make it look just like this success button right here. Now, first we'll just get the style, nothing else, just to style the button. And you can get that by going into the homepage of getbootstrap.com, press the download folder right here, and scroll down. You'll find somewhere the npm installation right here. npm install bootstrap, blah, 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 blah. So I'll grab this and notice it's still in a beta version. Hopefully it'll get this done so it's a real version 4. But for now we can live with the beta version. So I'm just going to run this command from my terminal. So creating a new session in my terminal down here with the plus sign, and I'm just running the installation right here. Now notice I didn't put in the -- save. Now that's actually a problem because if you grab my project now, you won't have access to Bootstrap. So I'll just run it again, and this time I'll do the -- save, and I'll try and show you the difference. Because if we open the package.json file right here, you'll see that this guy will not be available if I do not do the -- save. The only reason he was there is because I just installed him once before, just to show you guys he was there. Now notice when the -- save is in there, he'll actually pop up here as a dependency. And let me just try and refresh this guy, and there he is. Now he's actually available as a dependency, meaning that if you guys grab my project and do an npm install, automatically it'll go and grab this package for you. You don't have to do the installation manually. Now notice there's a few unmet dependencies, doesn't matter. Just keep it out of the way because the ng Bootstrap setup will take care of this for us. So you only have to have this available. The red ones, they are okay. We don't need those for our setup because we're using the ng Bootstrap and not the pure form Bootstrap, right? So just don't worry about the 2 red lines here. They are perfectly fine. What else do we need? Well, now we have the Bootstrap ready, and that pretty much just means that if you open up your node modules up here, you actually just downloaded Bootstrap in your local setup. So if you go down, you'll find the Bootstrap folder right here in the node modules, and there you'll see you have the build file or the destination file, sorry, and here you actually have your Bootstrap CSS available right here. So now we can start using Bootstrap, right? That's pretty awesome. Let's just zoom out again. Now we have Bootstrap available, we need to do one more thing. We need to actually explain to our application that we want to use this style in our application. So what we'll do is, if you remember, we have a global style actually set up right here, the style CSS. We're not using it right now, but that's the global style CSS. But how does Angular know we need to use this? Well, actually we have a configuration file called Angular CLI JSON, and this is actually how it knows that what style should we use globally for our application. Now we're using the style CSS now, but we want another one in there. So right above the style CSS, what we need to do is kind of just put in this path explaining where we can get the Bootstrap style from. And that's pretty much all we had to do. Now, let's try and read this path because it's not that complex actually, even though it looks kind of scary. But it's pretty much just explaining we need to go out one folder from where we're at right now. And that means we are now all the way out in the main folder over here. Let me try and zoom a bit here so you can see it. And now we are actually all the way out in the main folder. Then we need to go to something called node modules. And guess what? Here's the node modules folder. Then we need to go to Bootstrap folder. Again, that's where we were a second ago. There we go. And under the Bootstrap folder, there's a dist folder. Under that, there's a CSS folder. And under that, there's actually something that's a combined set of minimum CSS, this guy right here, which is a hideous file to look at, but that's minified CSS, so the Bootstrap kind of prepared for us to actually send that. Now that's all we had to do. Now we actually explain to our system that not only do we want to use a global CSS like this, we actually also want to add a specific CSS for Bootstrap. So let's try and see if this worked. Our back button is still not showing the thing it should. And that's probably because we have to restart the application. So let's just try and do a quick restart right here. NG serve, and I'm still running mine from production environment. You can of course do it locally if you want to. Application has restarted. Let's try and have a look. And there we go, our back button. Yay! It looks like a back button. Woo! We fixed it. We made Bootstrap, and now we have the styling ready, but not the functionality. So next we'll try and install the rest of the Bootstrap setup. See you next time.